Divorce is often a complex tapestry woven with threads of personal, social, and cultural factors. The case of Hadiya, a young woman whose marriage ended in divorce, serves as a poignant example of how societal expectations, individual aspirations, and emotional struggles can collide, leading to a dissolution of what many perceive as a sacred union. To understand the real reasons behind Hadiya's divorce, one must delve deeper into the interplay of these elements, rather than merely attributing the separation to surface-level issues. At first glance, Hadiya's marriage appeared to be a fairy tale. Friends and family marveled at the couple's chemistry and shared dreams. However, as time passed, the cracks began to show. Hadiya, like many young women, had aspirations that extended beyond the traditional roles society often imposes. She was ambitious, eager to carve out her own identity and pursue her career. This desire for independence, while commendable, created friction in a relationship that was steeped in traditional expectations. Hadiya's husband, raised in a culture that often prioritizes familial duties over individual aspirations, found it challenging to reconcile his expectations with Hadiya's ambitions. The initial excitement of their union gradually morphed into a battleground of conflicting desires. Hadiya felt stifled, while her husband grappled with feelings of inadequacy as he struggled to support her ambitions without feeling overshadowed. This imbalance in their relationship dynamics became a significant factor contributing to their divorce. Furthermore, communication, or the lack thereof, played a crucial role in the deterioration of their marriage. In the beginning, Hadiya and her husband shared an open dialogue, discussing their hopes and fears. However, as pressures mounted, conversations shifted from meaningful exchanges to mere transactional interactions. The couple became adept at avoiding difficult topics, leading to a growing chasm between them. Hadiya often felt unheard, and her husband's reluctance to engage in deeper discussions left her feeling isolated. This emotional distance ultimately culminated in a sense of hopelessness, prompting her to reconsider the viability of their marriage. Another underlying factor was the influence of family and societal expectations. Hadiya's family, while supportive, also held traditional views about marriage that emphasized sacrifice and compromise. The weight of these expectations bore down on Hadiya, creating a sense of guilt for wanting more than what was traditionally prescribed. Her husband, too, felt the pressure to conform to societal norms, which often dictated that a man's worth was tied to his ability to provide and maintain control within the household. This external pressure exacerbated the internal struggles they faced, making it increasingly difficult for them to find common ground. As the realization of their irreconcilable differences set in, Hadiya and her husband faced a pivotal moment. The decision to divorce was not made lightly. It was born out of a desire for self-preservation and the pursuit of happiness. Hadiya understood that staying in a relationship that stifled her growth would ultimately lead to resentment and unhappiness, not just for her, but for her husband as well. The courage to walk away from a marriage that no longer served her aspirations was a testament to her strength and resilience. In conclusion, the divorce of Hadiya cannot be attributed to a single factor or a moment of discord. Instead, it is a multifaceted narrative shaped by individual aspirations, communication breakdowns, and societal pressures. By examining these elements, we gain a deeper understanding of the complexities surrounding divorce, particularly in the context of modern relationships. Hadiya's story serves as a reminder that the journey towards self-discovery and fulfillment often. In the quiet town of Eldridge, where the sun dipped low behind the hills and shadows danced on cobblestone streets, emotions often ran deeper than the rivers that snaked through its heart. It was here, in this picturesque setting, that a chance encounter would forever alter the course of two lives. The protagonist of our story, Amir, a reserved young artist, had always found solace in the strokes of his paintbrush, but it was not until he met Hadiya that he discovered the true colors of his heart. Amir was an observer of life, often retreating into his world of canvases and colors. He found beauty in the mundane, capturing the essence of Eldridge through his art. Yet, beneath the layers of paint lay a solitude that clung to him like an old, worn-out coat. It was during a local art exhibit that he first encountered Hadiya. She stood before one of his paintings, her eyes glistening with an unspoken story. Hadiya was a vibrant spirit, a whirlwind of laughter and passion, yet there was a fragility about her that Amir could not ignore. As he approached her, he noticed the way her fingers traced the edges of the canvas, as if trying to unlock the emotions trapped within. They struck up a conversation, and for the first time, Amir felt the walls he had built around himself begin to crumble. Hadiya spoke of dreams and aspirations, her words flowing like a river, full of life and hope. However, as days turned into weeks, Amir began to sense an underlying sadness in Hadiya. It was subtle at first, a fleeting glance, a quiet sigh, but it grew more pronounced with each encounter. She would often gaze out at the horizon, her expression distant, as if she were searching for something lost. Amir, though captivated by her spirit, felt helpless. He wanted to reach out, to understand the source of her sorrow, but words often escaped him. One rainy afternoon, as the heavens wept and the streets shimmered with reflections of light, Amir found himself wandering through a local park. There, beneath a willow tree, he spotted Hadiya, her shoulders shaking silently. As he approached, he could see the tears streaming down her cheeks, glistening like pearls against her skin. It was a moment of vulnerability that pierced Amir's heart. He knelt beside her, unsure of what to say, yet compelled to offer comfort. Hadiya, he whispered, his voice barely audible above the rain. What troubles you? She looked at him, her eyes brimming with tears, and for the first time, she shared her story. Hadiya spoke of loss, a family member taken too soon, leaving a gaping hole in her heart. Her tears flowed freely, and Amir felt each drop as if it were his own. In that moment, he understood the weight of her sorrow, the kind that could not be painted over or ignored. As he listened, something shifted within Amir. Her tears melted the icy walls he had built around his heart, revealing a warmth he had long forgotten. He reached out, gently taking her hand in his, and in that simple act, a bond formed, a connection forged in shared vulnerability. It was a moment of catharsis, a reminder that pain, though isolating, could also be a bridge to deeper understanding. In the weeks that followed, Amir and Hadiya grew closer. They explored the town together, sharing laughter and stories, painting the world with their dreams. Amir began to incorporate Hadiya's spirit into his art, each stroke reflecting the resilience he saw in her. And as Hadiya healed, so too did Amir, finding solace in the beauty of their friendship. Hadiya's tears had melted his heart, but they also ignited a spark within him, a passion for life that transcended the canvas. Together, they learned that vulnerability was not a weakness but a strength, a pathway to connection and understanding. In the end, it was not just Hadiya's tears that transformed Amir, it was the realization that love and empathy could breathe life